Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, guys. So, would you stop Ibrahim alayhi salam if we were to encounter him while he was going to slaughter his son? Would you have stopped him? That's the question we're going to answer today. And I believe when we make some certain distinctions, we'll begin to understand what is moral goodness and what is a command or what is the right thing to do. So there's a difference between good and evil, or good and bad, and right and wrong. Okay, so let's use the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam as an example. I think one person that actually delved into how difficult it was for Ibrahim alayhi salam to actually carry out what he was commanded was a philosopher named Soren Kierkegaard. He literally went into it in a book where he was just talking about it like you guys have no idea how difficult this was, and all the intricacies was very interesting. But the point is that, would you have stopped him? If you ask me, would I have stopped him? I would have said yes. Like if someone comes to me now, let's say a man, and he tells me he had a dream, and in the dream they told him to God told him to kill his son. If someone told you today, ask yourself, if someone told you today, would you accept it? Would you say, yeah, so kill your son? Would you say that? Or would you say, no, you must have been mistaken, God didn't tell you this? I'm 100% sure you wouldn't even ask him like, is he sure? you will think maybe he's crazy or something is wrong with this person. That's what you will think in today, because you don't believe this person received any message, and what he's talking about is even wrong. That's what you would have thought, right? Now, so me, I'm saying, if this is the case, so what is going on when Ibrahim alayhi salam was commanded to do this? I think now the distinction I told you between good and bad and right and wrong, how would we judge this situation now where God has commanded something? Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was 100% certain, 100% sure that God has commanded this, so he wasn't in doubt. He's 100% certain. Now, the act that he was asked to do, he wasn't happy to do it. Like, if it was like what I'm trying to show you is that God commanding something, He doesn't make it good or bad. I'm someone that defends the divine command theory normally, but I want to make some distinctions here. When I say if God commands something now, He doesn't make that act good or bad, because good and bad is from judgment. It's from judgment of the people. It's from us who will judge if something is good or if it is bad. We judge that. So many people make a mistake that if God commands something, then it becomes good. No. Unless God will change the apparatus that He has built us with, such that we'll not see that act as good. That's the only. But right now, the way we are built, God cannot just command something to become good. It's not like, how will I say this? Let's say now God says, kill your son. The act does not become good. Following the command of God is the right thing to do. That's why Ibrahim alayhi salam was not happy. He was not celebrating that, I'm going to do it, I'm going to obey God. No, he was sad. In fact, Kierkegaard talks about how he was riding his donkey or something. He was so slow going on top of the mountain. He woke up very early in the morning. He was troubled. The point is that God commanded the act. The act does not become good. Okay? The act becomes the right thing to do, but it doesn't become good. And there has to be absolute certainty. There has to be absolute certainty. If there's no absolute certainty that God has commanded this, and by the way, who is going to know this certainty? It's going to be the person. It cannot be us, the community. The community will not know that certainty unless God told all of us directly. But if it is one person that is making the claim, we are going to have to trust him somehow, that he knows that he's actually saying the truth. That's what you're going to have to do. You cannot know that certainty that he has. So the point is that killing your son any day, any night, any time, if you kill your son, the act itself is wrong. It is wrong. It is bad. It is bad. It is not good. Helping your mother is good. There are some things we have this judgment, so we kind of have to appeal to our fitrah somehow to know what is good and bad. We kind of know what is good and bad somewhat. So that is what is good and bad. That is what is good and evil. Okay? If God now commands us to do something, and Kierkegaard talks about going beyond the ethical, obeying God in that situation, you are going beyond morality. You're going beyond the ethical. It doesn't make the act good. Do you get it now? So that's the point I'm trying to show you in this video. That, and you'll find many of these instances when Musa alayhi salam and Khidr, when they were going on their journey. Musa alayhi salam, every single point he had to object to what was the Khidr was doing. He had to object to it because he's using morality that this is wrong, what you just did is wrong. Unless there's some kind of explanation, what you did is wrong. Do you understand? So people say God commands something and it becomes good. No. God commands something, it becomes right thing to follow or wrong thing to is it right or wrong? You obey God. The test there will be you obeying God. It wouldn't be like what you did is good or bad. Do you understand? So because if people look at you, they will see you are doing something good. Do you understand? So now another point I want to put in is this. So you see that distinction between good and evil and right and wrong. So right and wrong is with regards to God's command. Good and evil is with regards to judgment, moral judgments that the people make. Okay, so there's one verse that talks about تحب شيئا وهو خير لكم. No. وهو شر لكم. You might like something and it is bad for you, and you might love something and it is good for you. No, what am I saying? You get the point. You might like something and it is actually, you might think something is good but it is actually bad for you, and you might think something is bad and it's actually good for you. I think this verse is not talking about a radical change from our moral compass. It's talking about exceptions. It's talking about the times when, for instance, you might be doing something you morally know is wrong, but you like it anyway. Do you get like that kind of thing? Like someone drinking alcohol, or something that is detrimental to them, like smoking, is detrimental to your body, but you like it. That kind of thing. Okay, so that is the one that he's talking about. He's not talking about something radically that somehow our moral compass is to just be radically wrong, that kind of thing. No. So any day, any night, Ibrahim alayhi salam, what he was doing in that trial is obeying God. Is not making the act good. So there's this subtle distinction that everyone that wants to defend the divine command theory thing, they should make that distinction. They should not just say, you know what, if God commands on anything, God command is good, that kind of thing. No. Do you understand? So I think, because if Ibrahim alayhi salam had killed his son, let's imagine he had killed Ismail, there wouldn't be any difference. In fact, some people will think the very attempt itself, like let's say I have a son, the very attempt of me even thinking of killing my son is even bad itself. Like, it's not just like I didn't kill him eventually. No, the very thinking, the very going to attempt to kill his son, that is already bad. No father will do that. Do you understand? So the way we can delineate between these two is that Ibrahim alayhi salam wasn't celebrating this. He was absolutely certain, it was 100%, that it was God that told him to do this. Why? He doesn't know. He just knows he wants to obey God. Not because he's happy what he's doing, or did he ever think the act was good. No, he didn't think it was good. That's why he was not happy. If God had told him to, commanded him in his dream to go and wash his mother's feet, he would be smiling, he would be happy. Okay, I will do that. Do you see? There's the difference between our moral compass, our moral judgment. So it's kind of innate stuff. I don't know, I cannot explain it. By the way, I will make another video about why we are appealing to this moral compass. But what is it? It's not something easy to define, actually, because some people will show you how people actually differ with regards to these things. But me, I think there are some objective kind of moral compass, like the concept of fairness, being fair, justice, that kind of thing. But it's difficult. But I just want to explain this thing to you guys. So don't just say like if God commands something, it becomes good. No, I think that way, if you want to say that, God will have to change our perception such that we will not see that thing as good or bad, even in our own judgment. It wouldn't just be God because God commanded it, that's why it's good. No, our compass also has to agree. So if God commands something that God has already built us to be inclined towards it, such that we see it as good. So being good to your mother, for instance, God has already built us in such a way that we are good to our mother. We would, when He tells us to do it, it will just be reaffirming what He has already built in us, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to explain this. I hope what do you guys think about this? Now, I thought about, what if someone today that was actually this guy's question, Kierkegaard. Soren Kierkegaard. He has a question like, what if someone today comes to you and tells you that God has commanded him to do something similar to what Ibrahim alayhi salam said? That's why I asked the question at the beginning. What would you do? Me, I would say, I wouldn't, because me, I don't have that certainty that he was, I don't trust him. I don't trust this person. But if between him and God, individually, he knows whether God told him or not. And he's going to carry out. But me, if I was there, I would stop him. That's what I'm saying. I would stop him because it is binding on me to do that, to actually stop him, because of the moral compass God has given us, and because I'm not sure it's 100% true what he's saying. So I will stop him. And I think this kind of thing, if it happened in a community, even the case of Ibrahim alayhi salam, it didn't happen in a community where everyone was aware of this. Because if everyone was aware of this, they would have stopped him, and it would have been the right thing to do. You see, because they don't know if he was saying the truth or not. Unless they know, then they can say, okay, God has commanded it. So there has to be knowledge, certain knowledge that I don't think any of, like, if I have a dream right now that I'll go and kill your brother, I would just say, no, I don't think so. But what if this is Kierkegaard's question, what if you're absolutely certain? If you're absolutely certain, and I think the kind of knowledge from God is not the kind of knowledge where you doubt if this is true or not. We have knowledge. That's why I've been talking about knowledge and belief. We have knowledge that even us, we know, we are very sure, but we are not certain. But the kind of knowledge from God will be such a knowledge that will be 100%. You have no doubt whatsoever. If that comes to you, you have to obey it. It's simple. But don't tell me. If you have that kind of, don't come and ask me. Because if you ask me, I don't have that certainty. I'm going to stop you. What do you guys think? Put it in the comment section. See you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.